Now, Lamborghinis are one of the most sought after supercar. For me personally, not my favorite, but with this paint from Lamborghini, this is my absolute favorite color you can get. And I'm gonna show you why. I'm Peter from Faraz Auto Sales. We're gonna check out this 2022 Lamborghini EVO Spyder today. Let's take a look. All right, now we're just talking about the paint. I mentioned that as I was going. This is my favorite paint color from Lamborghini. It's called Nero Nemesis. And you know what I love the most about it is this is actually a very rare opportunity where you get a wrapped satin finish. So this is a protective film on the front that a lot of guys put on there to avoid stone chips, whatnot, versus the actual paint on the rear half of the car. You have what is like a fully satin finish, right? You can really see that there's still some shine to this, but the Nero Nemesis paint on the side, the door, the back, wherever else you're looking, is like completely flat. That's what I love about it. Yeah, you could put on a fully matte wrap like this. The way this paint looks, it's like the closest thing to black. Like it's just so mean looking. But I guess I understand why people put the film on it. I wouldn't, but then again, one stone chip from this, you can't just like touch it up with a gloss or a finisher, right? So that's my favorite part about Nero Nemesis paint. I think it looks crazy. It just sucks you in when you look at it. Not a lot of brands leave it just fully flat, right? So anyway, let's keep moving around, look at other features of this thing. All right, now, when we're looking at this front end of the Huracan, the 2022, like what I see and what I like is, yeah, they've added some really cool different venting and some aero and stuff like that. What I don't like as much about the factor, that's a 2022. We're looking at, here's another Huracan right here, 2017. If you were driving on the street, average person might not know the difference in age, right? But you're looking at a huge difference in price. But I guess that's similar to most cars, but look, you got a nice rounded front end on this. You don't have as much aero, you got some venting and whatnot, which is cool. But when you look at this one, you got that beautiful sharp kind of like edge on the front. Maybe that's their modernized version of what they think it looks cool. What does it for me about the Lambos again still is the paint. To me, you look at both of these, no one would have a clue what the difference here is. What this one's 200 grand less than that one. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's what your personal preference is. Another thing I notice right when I'm looking at this thing, catches my eye right away, is yeah, you have those beautiful, huge brake calipers that are finished in yellow. All the yellow, of course, staple of Lamborghini symbols on the yellow kind of gold, ties right into this interior with the bucket seats that are carbon fiber. And then you even got these gorgeous stitching that goes through. Like, is that yellow too much yellow though? Like, I mean, for me, I love it, especially when you get this contrast stitch that comes through. It goes right along the dash too. Even though it may not be my favorite luxury brand, it still wows you when you sit inside it, you know? You got the yellow stitching all through the steering wheel too. And it's not just like a basic stitch. Like, that must have taken ages to make this thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like interwoven with almost like that technical weave that you see in the Audis and the other stuff. But if I was buying this thing, would I get the carbon bucket seats? Not sure. Probably not. But these actually aren't that bad. I think they're more of like, they still got the analog movement. They feel really light. Well, they are a full carbon bucket, but I think they feel a little bit wider than a normal carbon bucket seat, which is, I guess, a bit better. We're gonna check out a couple other carbon seats too later on and see which ones feel better, but all in all, pretty impressive machine. This I do like, the upgrade in this infotainment system since the old ones, because it seemed like Lambo kept that old screen like that for so long. They have just simple things too, like all over. Look at this, they got USB ports right into this actual, I guess, the section here. So you also have a cigarette lighter if you need to plug in something else or whatever have you. Like, I don't know about this little guy here. I'm not really sure what that does. It seems like a space where you just lose more stuff. So I don't even know. I mean, for me, I feel like this is completely unnecessary. Again, up to you. I do like this. This is a very cool staple kind of, I guess, gimmicky F1 fighter jet type ignition portal there, which is neat. I do love when you're getting in though that I noticed that they have Lamborghini put that gorgeous emblem on here, the Huracan Spyder. Which, that's a nice touch because that's cool when you're just looking at that. Most convertibles, this is just all going to get dirty or gummed up with stuff, and that really looks sharp. So I do like that feature of this car. Of course, you have the Lambo lifters, the paddle shifters, all that. I do like the fact that when you move the steering wheel, the paddle shifters stay in the same spot. They don't go with the steering wheel. That's a big, personal preference of mine, because I feel like when you're turning, it'd be harder to shift if it's going with the steering wheel. But yeah, beautiful little cockpit here. One of the biggest differences that I see, I don't know, from the 17 versus the 22, is the fact that it even has this infotainment screen right here. Is this doesn't exist on that car. This screen is all integrated through the dash. I know that Ferrari does the same thing on some of their cars. It gets pretty tricky unless you really know what you're doing to navigate through that. There's, you know, little side buttons with a menu option and whatever else to navigate through all your features, like your backup camera comes up there on this car, your features of going through the radio, whatever else. That I find would be a little bit trickier than just having this right at the touch of your fingers here. Like, you're gonna go ahead and go through your screen and you have your vehicle options to change stuff, ambient lighting, like that's really cool. Home button's really simple, you know, to go through and just customize stuff. I like that that's at your fingers here versus always here, right? But if we start this car, you can see again. So when you put it in reverse, you still do have your rear camera here, which is really nice too. Oh, that's pretty cool, look at that. That has the rear parking sensors, front parking sensors. So if we move it up a little bit, you're gonna see it's gonna get worse or closer. Just nice little features that show you that they've kind of thought of upgrading an older system. So, I mean, those are big changes that you'll get for sure. All right, let's check out how quick the roof is, which is a big factor for a lot of people. How quick you can put that on and off in case of rainstorm, whatever else. Let's start up that 5.2 liter V10, which this thing does have, and it sounds fantastic. All right, let's check out the roof. So not too bad. We'll take it off, see how it's any quicker removing the roof than it is putting it on. It's not the fastest roof for sure, but it's not the slowest. So I mean, unless you're in a major rush, you get caught in a hurricane, you'd probably know that you shouldn't be driving with the roof down anyway 1 year before that. But yeah, that's not so bad. It's not, again, like I said, not the slowest, but not the fastest. So, well, let's check out the engine bay here. Again, I guess that's your stereotypical convertible engine bay. Not much going on here as far as like workability or whatever else, but it's nice to see on the coupes or the other cars how they have the big, beautiful engines with the different color valve covers and all that kind of cool stuff. But not much to be seen there, I guess, you know. Still nice that they finished the inside of the engine cover with Nero Noctics. That's kind of cool. They could have just gone with whatever, you know, regular paint job you want on that, but it really looks nice when you open it up. They're trying to get their best effort at making it look cool, right? And then you got the beautiful offset with the gloss, which goes into the bumper and everything else. Also, the exhaust has kind of like the yellowy kind of bronze finish, which is pretty sharp in my mind. That's a sport exhaust, sounds amazing. Now, this particular 2022 Huracan EVO Spyder all-wheel drive is priced right in around $419,000 right now. So plus tax, everything else, all the bells and whistles, call it 450 and change, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on the deal. You think it's worth that kind of money? I don't know. I mean, let me know what you think. Put it down in the comments below. Like and subscribe. And again, I'm Peter from Faraz. Thanks, guys.